I'm meeting with Chef Antonio Park at his new restaurant and first in Toronto, Pick 6. Antonio has quickly established himself as a leader in the culinary world with successes in Montreal and newly formed partnerships with Drake and the OVO team. He's pushing himself to expand once again. I'm eager to hear more about Antonio's roots and what drives and inspires this wildly successful chef. Antonio.
Chef Mark.
How are you, man?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Welcome to Toronto.
Thank you very much for having me.
You finally arrived.
Yes, I finally opened this little place.
A little place.
A little big place.
This place is amazing.
Thank you very much.
I watched the movie Casino the other day, and this place reminds me of the movie.
Is it because of the Ace of Spades and the gold? And
No,
the gold
I think it harkens back to the late 70s, early 80s, right?
It's true, huh?
Very cool.
So let me introduce you to the VIP room and the VVIP room.
Wow.
Please come in.
Nice place.
Thank you, Chef.
Now, we met on Chopped.
We met on Chopped.
We were the notorious judges on Chopped,
Yes,
which was a lot of fun. But we all have interesting backstories. And I know you had a very inspirational mother.
I think it's everything from mother to aunts to, coming from a South Korean family. Everybody's sitting down and making a big pot of kimchi and, buying not only one cabbage, but we used to buy hundreds of napa cabbage to make hundreds of pots to ferment kimchi.
So you had sort of a production situation with your family.
Yes. We used to produce everything in my house, and we used to share. We used to share with the grandmother, with the aunts, with friends. On the food side, there always has to be something that I grew up eating.
Right.
Growing up in Argentina, being the Asian kid in South America and living all those different cultures, you start picking up different things, right? So when it comes to the whole balance of what Antonio Park's favorite is the mixture of three cultures, which is Japanese, Korean, and South American. They all have strengths. The Japanese culture, which is finesse and simplicity. I love the culture of simplicity and raw. I am a big fan of representing its ingredients.
Perfect.
At its form.
Genuine, fresh product. In Japanese cuisine, you can't hide behind anything.
No. And then the Korean culture, where it's more fermentation, pickling.
And slightly more humble ingredients?
Very, very humble ingredients.
Compared to Japanese?
Yeah, very, very simple ingredients. A lot of the base of the Korean culture are vegetables. You have all the side dishes that we call panchan.
Right.
When you go to the potatoes, the bean sprouts, the spinach. That's the fermented pickling culture that I use a lot. And then the South American culture, where it comes to the whole cow, putting it on a fire, making of the sausages, pupusa, guiso, the empanadas. There's a dish at Park. It's my favorite dish at Park. We'll take a ribeye, a strip loin, or a filet mignon, flatten them down, put it on the grill, like we're doing asado, put a little squeeze of lemon. I'll cut them like I do nigiri.
Right.
I'll make nigiri out of it. Rice, wasabi, beef. I'll brush it with a little bit of maple syrup, soy sauce. Torch just lightly, just very lightly. On top of it, I'll put some julienne of kimchi and finish it up with a little reduction of soy sauce.
A lot of flavor.
A lot of flavor, but that's the combination
a lot of cross-culture.
Korean, South American, and Japanese combined together to come up with that dish. And that's what I wanted to create at Park. And that's exactly what I did.
So what year was that you opened Park?
I opened in 2012.
That was your first restaurant?
That was my first own restaurant. With my name, I wanted to put my father's name. 2 years after I opened Park, he passed away. My father never agreed for me being a chef. And then especially being a Japanese chef. Are you crazy? Back in the days when Korea and Japan was in war, his two brothers got killed. And I'm doing Japanese food. He freaked out. He's like, I will never accept you going...
There's some sensitive buttons there. You have many restaurants now.
Yes, now I have over 10 businesses around me. Luckily, they've all been very successful. But it doesn't just come like that, right? Yeah, I had to build a team. It has nothing to do with me. It's the people that I put them in charge.
Yeah, but a fish rots from the head down. So you're the head. You manage it. You put the teams together, and obviously you've managed the teams well, because Montreal to me is not a big city.
Very small.
It's a big little city, and it's a city that has attitude, has a lot of self-respect, and a lot of opinion, which is good. They have a lot of moxie. So to have 8 restaurants in one town, and to do it in 6 years, that's commendable.
You know, I love Montreal. Montreal is a city that gave me everything I have today.
Immigrating to Montreal at the age of 15 was crazy. I think for me was a big cultural shock. You know, it's not like multicultural cities in South America.
Right.
When you went into school, you realize the differences between you being an Asian, you being a Latino, you being black, and you being white. So it was very well separated. You know, there was a lot of bullying, there's a lot of racism. So for me to learn from all these different cultures, it's like traveling without traveling, right? I'm just a kid that absorbs and became a ball of all these cultures. So that was the beauty of living in Montreal and coming at that age and seeing things that I've never seen in my life, you know? And it's a very special city, Montreal.
You sort of landed there, you opened your business in 2012, and you expanded pretty quick.
Very quickly. From the first day that I opened Park, the 8 projects were already aligned. Lavanderia was more personal and more sensitive. The reason is because growing up in Argentina, my parents used to have a business called Lavanderia, which is a laundromat. Lavanderia was my mother's business.
Right.
So the reason why I opened Park and right next to Park, Lavanderia, is because I wanted to have mom and dad next to each other forever.
That's fantastic.
I connect much more myself towards the South American cuisine. And that's another reason why I opened Lavanderia, to create a restaurant of my childhood. It's not an inventive menu. I'm not trying to reinvent the South American or Argentinian food. So we make our homemade chorizo argentino, chorizo roja, chorizo verde, the puchero, which is the soup. You know, all those things that I make it is because it comes from my childhood, and I wanted to share my childhood. And it's very, very comforting food.
Yeah, you can eat that type of fare once a week, twice a week, every week, and you never grow tired of it.
Yeah.
Well, you're early 40s. You mentioned you're 42. You're married, you have children.
I was married. I lost my marriage on the first 6 months of when I opened Park. It would have never worked.
So the 2 lifestyles were not compatible. So you're still single?
I'm a single father of 2 beautiful children. Wonderful. She gave me those 2 beautiful gifts.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you very much. My son is 11 today. Alex is 11. My daughter is turning 10, Naomi. I want to spend more time with them, more and more. But how do I do that? You know, when I first opened Park, I used to work 120 hours a week. How do you balance? How do you balance family?
I balance my life nicely now. I don't work as hard as I used to, that's for sure. That's the hard part. This deal for you at Pick 6 came along.
Yep.
Now, did your mother have to interview Drake to see if it was a good deal for you? Did that happen?
No, she didn't get involved in this project.
You won't admit to that?
No, she didn't get involved in that project.
It's interesting when you go to a city, like you asked me would I go to Montreal. I would be very nervous about going to Montreal. You coming to Toronto is kind of the flip side of that.
Luckily, in Montreal, I do already have a solid team, and it will take time for me to build that relationship here in Toronto.
Pick 6, though, is a really interesting mix. So it's kind of a sports bar in disguise.
Yeah.
With sushi, and then you have this nightclub aspect.
Well, the nightlife, I want to put that aside because it's not really my world. That's more in the world of the OVO and Chubbs. We close the kitchen at 11, and then after that, the night scene starts, you know, the cocktails.
So do you go and shower and put something fancy on? And
no, I go home.
Come and hit the club?
I go home, no. Pick 6 has 3 different ways. I put the 3 layers. Japanese, which is sushi. Some of the dishes, which is South American, because we have empanadas, milanesa, ensaladas. And then the Korean part is the tapas side, which is the finger bite, right?
Is this the first restaurant where you really put the three cultures on one menu?
Yes.
In obvious form?
Yes, yes. This is the first restaurant that I'm putting in three.
And how nervous were you doing that?
I'm still nervous. I'm still nervous, and I'll be nervous forever. I'll never say my menu is perfect, my food is perfect. Chef, let me show you a couple things in the kitchen.
Let's do that.
Yes, sir. Hi, guys. So this is the sushi station that we receive all the fish, the whole piece. And so 2 fish station, which is sashimi, nigiri, and then that station, which is the maki.
Well, you're tight for real estate, but you're very well organized.
Yeah. And we try to just manage it as much as we can. This is Korean-style braised short ribs.
Can we do one? They look really good.
We'll do one.
I don't mean to make you work.
No, absolutely. You're not making me work. Absolutely not.
Ask me if I feel guilty about it.
Put the braised short ribs that it's already been sous vide there.
That's one portion?
That's one portion. And that's the sauce that we braise it into. So you're glazing it on top.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, it's very rich sauce.
It gets rich.
But it's nice. It's not acidic. You don't have too much wine in it, so it's
There's no wine.
No wine
Zero
at all?
wine. No, this is South Korean galbi style.
Tell me about the sauce.
The sauce has
everything that goes into the sauce.
It's soy sauce, tamari, garlic, a little bit of ginger, onion, carrots, and finish with maple syrup and brown sugar.
So this is very tender. Oh, looks good. I couldn't let this not happen.
Tender and flavor in it.
Wow, wow. So this is a straight Korean dish.
This is straight Korean dish, remodified a little bit on the recipe. But the foundation of the flavors are there.
But it's really flavorful, super tender.
Thank you very much.
So you'd be about an 8-hour braise on that.
8 hours, yes, exactly.
So this could very much be a French dish.
Without the red wine.
Without the red wine.
Without the red wine.
So winner, I'd come back for that.
Thank you.
So your next big game here at Pick 6 will be to get used to your kitchen, get your service right.
Yes, the service right, the food right, consistency. That's the name of the game, consistency.
So how much time will you spend here?
I spend 50% of my days, on my year here right now, in Toronto.
You bounce around.
I bounce around, so I travel a lot.
But it's very typical when you have a new project.
Yes.
Let alone a big project like this. This one will sort of grab you and shake you.
Yeah.
A little bit.
It already started.
Just by the sheer size of it.
It's much easier in Montreal when I know I have a huge team behind, but here, it's either me or nobody. So I have to always be here, watch out, and build a team, you know.
You can call me.
You're busy.
So Antonio, outside of charity and restaurants, what's next for you?
Being a father. Spend some more time with them. Listen to them a little bit more because I owe them that.
Antonio, thank you so much. Amazing conversation.
Thank you, Chef.
You've got an amazing backstory, and you're still a young man. You're only 42 years old, so you have many years of fight left in you.
I wish I was 38.
I am now 59 forever. I took a year off, and that's where I'm staying. I'm not graduating beyond there. But no, it was fantastic and great success here.
Thank you very much.
I know you'll do well. This is very cool.
Try my best.